Hello, my name's Keith Thompson. I'm here to introduce you to this box of a machine, which is in fact a 12.5-inch thicknesser, something we've been looking forward to for quite a long time. It's part of our Axminster trade range of machines, and I'd like you to take a close look at what's underneath the grey lid. Okay, so this is basically a very simple machine. It's rather like a planer thicknesser, but without the big tables for your surface work. So looking at the front of the machine, we have a control wheel here which controls the height of this table, and you'll notice there's a digital height indicator which is set to 0 when the table is at 0. So you can always see the thickness of the timber that will be produced by the machine. So you can just simply use the hand wheel to raise and lower the table. When it's at the required depth, so say at 33 millimeters as on the scale, you can then just lock off the column and it will prevent the column from being moved during the work. The lever here is almost perhaps unnecessary in a way, but it actually engages the feed rollers. But I think it's a good idea to have this system where you can disengage and park the lever out of the way, because it prevents any settling of the rubber drive wheel inside the mechanism. And below it you'll notice an emergency stop switch which needs to be rotated to release it, but your normal operation would be the start and stop on these two switches just here. So very, very simple, just your height, an indicator of the thickness of the timber that you're going to produce, a lock, and the engagement for the feed rollers to drive the timber through. So simple as that. Now the important part is underneath this hood, which has a safety latch, and you just simply lift it up. You'll notice a tang here which engages in a switch, so that prevents you from running the machine with the lid open. You have a long table with feed rollers each end, just over 930 mil wide, and inside you have a segmented or serrated, if you like, feed roller for the initial feeding through, with anti-kickback guards here, and then a plain steel roller for the final extraction of the timber. But the big thing about this machine is that we have a 6-row spiral cutter block. If you'd like to come in a little bit closer, I'll explain the technology behind this cutter block. Okay. So this is a 6-row spiral cutter block. Each of these little blades or indexes are 4-sided. So with each one of these tungsten tips, you actually have 4 cutting edges. Now uniquely to us at Axminster, these are actually cut at a very slight radius. The radius is 102 millimeters. And with them being slightly offset or twisted in their location means you have a shearing action of the blade rather than a chipping action. So the timber is being treated much more kindly during the cutting action. So if you've got figured timbers or anything like that, you're not going to experience anything like the tear out that you would experience with a normal machine. Now each of these edges will last around 10 times the life of a normal high-speed steel planer block knife. So you have potentially 40 times the lifespan. Now that means an awful lot less downtime during use. So if you've got a big run of floorboards, you're not stopping to change the knives because they're slightly becoming blunt, so you're not getting the right finish. Also, it's a simple job with a torx-headed screwdriver, just to take the screw out, turn the edge around to the next one, and you've got a whole set of fresh edges. And no blade setting to do either. You don't need to worry about setting the height because it's done automatically for you, because the inserts are set into their own seats on this block. Also, this style of cutter block has been long recognized to need a lot less power to drive the block. Now this machine is fitted with a 3 horsepower single phase motor, which is more than big enough. The other big benefit is the noise level is so much less. It's around 50% of a normal high-speed steel knife machine. And another byproduct is that because of the shape of these blades, it produces a chip of wood roughly like your little fingernail. Because they're uniform in size, you can actually see some here, they will pack a lot more into a waste extraction bag, so a little bit less downtime in changing the bag or emptying the bag, so you can just get so much more packed in. and also less blockages because you haven't got strings of timber. It all comes out in little flakes, if you like, of timber. So this is where the money has been spent on this machine. And we've known from the sales of our planer thicknesses fitted with similar blocks that customers absolutely love them. So it's a great, great thing to have. Okay, looking inside the lid, we have the dust extraction hood, which fits very closely over the edges of the block and surrounds the top surface of the block. And finally, a little bit of sound deadening material, some high density foam, just to keep the drumming and noise levels down. So I'll just close the lid down. And now I'm going to use the machine, so less talking from me. Thank you. So you've seen what this machine is capable of. You can see it's a very small footprint machine, but it's really, really useful for both big jobs and the small jobs. It makes a great addition to nearly any carpentry workshop. The Axminster trade thicknesser. Thank you.